he was named Juan Ponce because his parents had Muslim marriages and they were not recognized. So that's Islam is something that is historically tied to us. So that's when you bring in the concept of the last prophet on earth to bring us the Holy Quran. And then it's up to the individual. If God wants him to become a Muslim, he will become a Muslim, or she. And now there is something going on, especially since 9/11, although it's been going on for quite a while, against Islam, against Muslims. Because whether we like it or not, we're in the middle of a war right now. The same war we had in Spain with the Christians, now we have it with the Zionists. Christian and Jewish Zionists. Because we're not anti-Semitic, we're anti-Zionist. And this attack is a daily thing. When you open up the crossword puzzle in the newspaper, in Spanish they used to put the one they had there in Brownsville, El Dios de Mahoma, Muhammad is God. You know? Well, I wrote to the individual who had the crossword puzzle, no, that's not true. It's what is the word in Islam for God? So about 6 months or a year later, he changed it. You know? So we have to be very careful because it's a direct attack into brainwashing our children into associating Islam with being anti-women, anti-democracy, anti-fair play. Anything that is negative, they want to say that it's Islam. So it's a very serious war. Have any of you seen on TV the Walking Dead? Yeah, you all know that, right? Now listen to this because it's very important. They're trying to teach the population, including our children, that it's okay to kill people just because they're different. You know? I mean, every scene in the Walking Dead, they kill at least 15 or 20, and you feel good when they do it. You know? And all they want to do is bite you and eat you because they're hungry. You know? But you feel good because they cut their head off, and it's always aiming for the brain. Think about that. The brain, that's where you attack the enemy. And that's what's going on now with this drone and everything else. Right there in Brownsville, we see the drones fly, which is top secret. They don't tell the American people that. They fly through the river, by the river, and then they fly back about an hour or two later. So they haven't decided to start using them. Now when they talk about in code words, like we got to protect our borders, you know, that they mean we got to kill the Walking Dead. That's what they mean. So this whole brainwashing thing could get into a real bad thing. And the worst thing about it is people will feel good when they do it. You know? I was watching on television a couple of nights ago an anti-Islam movie, but they don't call it that. They call it an anti-children suicide bombers. That's what it's all about. And by the time you get to see the whole program, with very little effort, you get to think that it's Islam that's doing this. You know? That's making children put on all kinds of dynamite and everything else and going out there and blowing themselves up. And this is what we're up against. So it's up to Allah to make Muslims out of people, but it's also up to us to make them aware that we exist and that the Quran exists and that there's a history not against women, because we all know that at the time that Islam came up and being, children were being buried, little girls, because they wanted sons. That was stopped. There was no divorce. As a matter of fact, the Christian religion had no divorce until recently. Usury was really bad. It wasn't until 1856 that the Catholic Church allowed usury. But we, of course, don't allow that. Riva. And we explain to people why. So, of course, you don't want to become a nuisance to people, you know, by constantly be preaching to them. So it's up to them to become curious So you have to give it a little bit of a thrill to the explanation. Otherwise, the person will go to sleep and start yawning. Any questions?
I think we've done very well, but any questions? About anything in Mexico or the Brownsville? What?
Here's a really good question.
Okay.